Wait, let me put on my UNC hat.
Oh, you're ready.
All
Is
right.
it recording?
Yeah.
Okay, hi. Hey, go see UNC Tar Heel. Anyone hear that Tar Heel shout out in the movie? Ayo.
Yeah.
They're from North Carolina, right?
I was just like,
I was like, yeah, I went to ECU. No one else noticed that?
Yeah, no, I did.
I was just like, eh.
I thought it was exciting. Anyway, back to the actual movie.
What did you guys think?
I have seen it before,
Me too.
and I really liked it before, and I really liked it now. I give it a 9.
I'll give it 8 out of 10.
Hmm?
I've never seen it before, and I don't usually like rom-coms, but I liked this movie because it was more realistic.
Well, it was based on a true story.
I know. That's why I liked it, I think.
Yeah, I saw it before. I really liked it that time. I really liked it this time. So I'd probably give it like a 9.2. Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's a good rom-com because it's not too cheesy because it is based off a true story, but it's also like not dry. Like you still want to keep on watching.
Well, I know obviously like it was chosen because like some students in the class wanted to have like a lead role that was someone who is like a minority, and also like I know Larabe like said stuff about like trying to notice throughout the film how Pakistani people are represented. So what do you guys think about that? I mean, obviously like there were like ISIS jokes in there that he had to like deal with, and we saw that. Obviously, like even the dad was like, "Oh, how do you feel about 9/11?"
Yeah.
Like,
I was like,
you know, and like, and the thing is like he's obviously like so Americanized that he doesn't even really like relate to that culture at all. You know, like like when he's doing his little like one man show, like his like Emily even says like, you know, I've learned a lot about Pakistan, but not really about you. You know, like he's not really connected to it. So I mean, obviously, like I'm sure that's the same thing with a lot of other cultures here, like you know, Indian people who grow up in America, not India. I don't know, etc., etc. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that portrayal of Pakistani people?
I kind of feel like I can't speak too much to like the Muslim representation because I
Yeah.
don't really have any context
Yeah,
or like
sure.
anything to compare it to. But I feel like it can't be like that political or like offensive only because it was like his actual experience. Like it wasn't like dialogue they made up. Like that's what he lived through.
And wasn't that the real guy?
Yeah, that's the real guy.
Right? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. I think that it shows a lot about like where we are in society because the movie is like pretty recent, right? Like it got released just a few years ago.
Yeah.
So like the whole story is like pretty recent and relevant to what's going on today. So I don't know how much it's changed, like the situation. Obviously, like not many people are asking Pakistanis about like 9/11 anymore, like if that's even a conversation topic, but I don't think that it can be like judged, like the director or like the producers can be judged harshly for it because it was a true story. You know what I'm saying? Like it was all based on like real
I
situations.
feel like they can't say like this is such an unfair representation or something if that was his like own personal experience.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that the situations or like what was said is like correct or just. It's just like what happened.
Yeah, I kind of liked also just in terms of like, the like cheesy, it's flicking me, the like cheesiness of it. I liked how like in real life, you know, what would happen was she wouldn't just like magically wake up from a coma and be like, yes, like you've been here the whole time, like yes, I'll get back with you. Like I thought like her waking up and obviously still being in the exact same place as like she was when you know she got in the coma, like when they got in a fight. Like I thought that was kind of like I drew a comparison to when the dad was saying like you won't know like that's like the woman that you want to spend the rest of your life with until like you cheat on her. And obviously like don't do that. But I think what he was trying to say was until you like lose her or like almost lose her. And that was like what he was experiencing. So while he was going through all of that, almost losing her and realizing that she was the one, you know, she was obviously like asleep the whole time.
Yeah. Trying to think about what other parts I really liked. I thought that it had like a good like balance between like the romantic parts and like the comedic parts. If
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like I think that when they were like sitting at dinner and they brought like a very single like Pakistani woman to come in and like talk to him about like the X-Files and stuff. I thought that was really funny. But then
Mm.
also I think that there was like a good mix of like romantic parts of like seeing them fall in love, and like the parents I think were like a good model of like old love, if that makes sense, or love that's like gone through a lot of tribulations.
Yeah. And I know like two things. Like I know Dr. Hammer's probably gonna mention that like he is not overwhelmingly like handsome or anything because he always gets on about like how the protagonist is like attractive, you know, and like you know, he wasn't like a model, like it was like him, the actual guy, you know, so he was like very much just like an like regular dude. And then the other thing was just like how um he didn't think she could understand like arranged marriage and his culture. Like do you like I'm wondering if like you thought that that was justified, like obviously like she couldn't understand what he was going through, but he could, or if like I don't know, I felt like he obviously like should have told her. You know, I can like understand him being embarrassed or not embarrassed, but like no, like
Hesitating.
yeah, like he didn't know how she was gonna take it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it showed how like the two like American and then like Pakistani like cultures were like very different, and like they're both like kind of like set in their ways on like different issues and stuff, and like kind of not willing to compromise.
Yeah, but in a way, like the parent, like her parents were, you know, obviously not the same, but similar. Like she was like, yes, I was like a Southern, like North Carolina girl. Like he was a New York guy. Like my parents and my family like hated him. Like blah blah. You know.
Yeah.
So
I
I
don't know.
guess she was trying to show that, like obviously, even though it's not the same, like because of like religion or whatever, you know, people go through this like very similar things.
Yeah. I think going back to what you said at the beginning, and then your second point too, but how all the actors seemed like really relatable because they weren't. I feel like in a lot of the movies we've watched, they've all been like supermodels or like super attractive like roles or people playing the lead. Where like in this movie it was like people that are everyday, like they look normal. Like in Kill Bill, it was like what was it? Uma Thurman was the lead, and then like in every movie we've watched it's been like this beautiful lady in the lead and this really like
Yeah,
attractive.
and she had like the dyed hair
Yeah,
underneath,
yeah,
like
it
was
was
like a
more
I
relatable.
don't know.
I think that was part of the reason that they like chose those actors for the character, was just like be able to relate more to the story. And then second, what you're talking about with like the different cultures, I think a lot of that was him hesitating because as like Americans we are really uninformed about like their culture. Like if you asked us to name 5 facts about like Pakistan and its culture, we probably couldn't. And so I think that it was like going to show how they feel uncomfortable or like have a hard time raising like issues or conversations about their own culture because we are so like uninformed and
But I feel
unaware.
like he feels like almost like the same amount of uninformed.
Yeah, I don't know. Just I guess maybe just because
Or he doesn't get it. Like he was like, I don't get the rules. I don't pray. Like I don't get it. I don't know why I have to do this.
Mhm.
you know, so I
He
don't
was
know.
I think he was just frustrated with it. Like he was frustrated himself with his own culture.
Yeah.
Like was difficult to convey to her without like seeming ashamed, if that makes sense.
I thought one of the
It's like it just made me think like so much about like if I were to be like in the future being like, okay, like here's my like non-Jewish like husband fiance that I'm gonna marry. My mom would literally, I would literally think my parents would like disown me.
See, I never experienced that because my mom is Jewish, but my dad is Christian.
Yeah.
So, like, I have never like really seen like the hard barriers, but then I have friends, like who go to like JCC and are like super involved, and they're like, yeah, like 100%, I'm marrying someone who's Jewish. Like, there's no way that I
Yeah.
could bring someone not Jewish.
So
And
obviously it's not as like hardcore as like arranged marriage and stuff like that, but I definitely like kind of understood. Like I definitely like felt that.
yeah,
So yeah. Yep.
I thought his like stand-up routine and his little one-man show was like a good thread because obviously he was like doing that like consistently through like all those stages of his life.
Yeah.
The quality kind of like mimicked like his emotions and like what he was going through at the time. And then I also really liked how her like opening, like when she hit on him at like the first show, it was also like how the movie ended, like
Yeah,
the exact same line.
and I like that she was the one that hit on him. I know it was based on a real story, so the director didn't really have any like overseeing of that, but I thought it was cool, like kind of a female type of like theme of like empowerment.
I mean, like to be quite honest, like that was probably like having the same line to end it was probably like scripted in. Like just because it's based on true story doesn't mean like every single thing happened that way. Like they probably made that for like the like aw ending, like which we all loved to be, you know, completely fair. But yeah,
That's good. That's a good point. I thought that the first one though, like I knew that the last one probably was, but the first one when
yeah,
she first approached him, I'm pretty sure it was her.
yeah. No, I thought it was a great movie. I really liked it.
I liked it
Same.
more than I thought I would. I don't like rom-coms.
That's crazy. I love y'all. I watched Dumb and Dumber for the first time ever yesterday.
You've never seen it before? Oh my gosh, that's my dad's favorite movie. That's why he liked Borat, I think. Because
I also haven't seen. Wait, Oliver, what's the movie that I said I hadn't seen today and you like gasped?
Oh, super bad.
I never seen Superbad.
I've never seen that.
Lovin'.
He's literally like has his mouth.
I'm sorry.
All right. Well, I think
That's
good.
that's it for moi.
Well, see you all in class tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bye.